heard it on the X, the East Coast Premier Music Talk Show, Thursday, December 15th at Niagara Falls Rapid Theater. The one and only Bret Michaels will be there, and he's on the phone with us right now. Bret, we were just talking about you spending a little time with Loretta Lynn, which had to be amazing. Amazing.
Loretta Lynn was, you got to remember, one of my favorite movies, I'm very honest about this. I said my first step into any kind of music when I was a kid, the first step into music was my dad really loved country music, and that's what we listened to.
As did mine, and Loretta Lynn was a hero. Loretta Lynn was my dad's, Loretta Lynn and Patsy Cline, those two. That's what I was raised on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and they were friends, and it was just, she was an amazing person, and I just want to shout out what a great, we were, my band, my crew, all my buses, the truck, everything was there, and she has this humongous ranch, right? And they have a big supercross track out there, which is what I've been dirt bike riding since I've been a kid, and it was just a great day, and I can't be thankful enough. It was a good time, but we're writing a song together, and we'll see where it goes. I think it could be awesome.
On the way into the studio, another thing that I'd like to talk to you about, the guys over at Dean Guitars are good friends of mine, and besides doing the show, I own the area's biggest independent music store. You have a new line of guitars out, and these guitars are awesome guitars. They play great. We actually have one in the studio with us right now. We have the Player Acoustic with us right now. But these are, tell me about this. How did this work out, and how closely did you work with Elliot and the boys over there?
Elliot, let me tell you something. Everyone over at Dean, and I say this, I met them years ago, and when I met them, we started talking a little bit about, what we could do, what we could build together. And I said, well, here's how it starts. Let's look at what you got. We start playing it. I take it out on the road. I tested it, and you want to there's two things happening. One, you want to make a guitar that I feel like if I pull it off the shelf, right, that I could play this guitar on stage musically as well as anyone else can grab the guitar and go play. What you don't want to build is you build yourself your own special guitar that looks like the other one. You know where I'm going.
Right, no, I know. Yeah, like
a fan goes to buy it and they're like, what happened? And I tried to build the exact same guitars, exactly the guitar I use on the road. And whether they use the electric guitar, whether they use the Player, or I named the one after my daughter, the Georgia Rain.
Right, exactly.
Those acoustic guitars are affordable with the best product we could put in there. And they sound like when you play them, I just used some in the studio just right off the shelf. Like I got it out, took it off the bus, went in, laid some acoustic stuff down, mic'd it up, it sounded great. And then, of course, if they want acoustic electric, if they're playing live, they want something that's a little more applicable to playing on a big stage rather than just in a controlled environment in the studio. And that's what you're looking for. You want to build something that you can say, I'm proud of that, and when people buy it, they're not going, what happened? There's no way he could use this.
And you know what?
Want to make sure that it's
honestly, the electric, the Z guitar plays unbelievable. I take the guitar off, I have them in my store, I take them off the wall and put them in players' hands all the time, and it's like, this is a really unbelievably playing guitar. You put a lot of time into it, and you just didn't stick your name, like you said, on some piece of garbage and try to shovel it off to the public. It's something that you obviously put your heart and soul into that, too, because that guitar plays amazing.
Well, the one, too, like you grab the electric guitar, right, and you start to play it. I feel that it's, obviously you want something that's eye-catching. You want it to, it's I call it an audio-visual experience. You want an AV experience.
That's true.
You want something you can hold and you say, hey, this feels cool. I like this guitar. But also when you feel the weight in there and you listen to the way it sounds and plays, that's the stuff when all of a sudden you go, okay, I'm going to stick this into an amp. And believe me, I don't know if you've had this experience when you were younger, but a few of the guitars I bought, I would look at someone playing them. Then I would buy their signature line, and I'm like, God, this doesn't sound anything like what they've got.
All the time.
And I wanted to say, don't let me be that guy. I begged Josh, and I begged I just said, all those guys, Elliot, I said, please, if we're going to put this out, I realize there's different levels of pricing, no doubt. And this is me being brutally honest. Let's give them as best price as we can give, but make sure there's some quality. And they did it. They really, I think we've achieved it.
Yeah, they're a great company, too. Elliot's been on the show a couple times, and we do a big NAMM show. We broadcast live from NAMM, and Elliot will be on there, too. But I was talking to them as I pulled into the studio, and they all send their love. Their exact words, tell Bret his Dean family sends their love. So you get much love from everyone.
You know what they did? We did a crazy idea that I got to say that we worked that together, but they really brought up this crazy idea going on home shopping, the HSN Home Shopping Network, right? And I said, well, what a great place. That's where people can go to buy the guitar. And they broke broke it out, and it was sold out the whole line that night. The first print of them all went, and I was like, and even them, the HSN was like, this is unbelievable. Normally, this amount of product and this price point normally doesn't go, but people got them, and they did a great job with them.
And believe me, Kim has that whole HSN thing DVR'd. I'm not kidding around, dude.
That's when I came back. How weird was this? I'll make a long story real short. Got back from Australia. I went down as a solo with the solo band to play with Motley Crue. We did all the arenas down there. I flew back, and I had that literally landed that day, and we had that week. I was supposed to take off. What happened is I went and did HSN. I was completely, I had laryngitis and was hoarse, and I said, let's do it anyway. And we had a great time doing it. And when I got done the week after, I ended up meeting the Gibbs family for Extreme Home Makeover. And this family, the woman had the same brain hemorrhage as me. And I went up and ended up spending a week with them, just having fun and building their house out. And it was a great time, great experience for me. So it all kind of came together. It's weird how timing works like that.
Speaking of the brain hemorrhage, how are you feeling? Is everything A-okay? I mean, because you just seem to be tearing through things still, man. You don't stop.
Well, thank you for saying that. My way of getting through stuff is to, I'm one of those guys that the more I do, the more it keeps me from thinking about it. And I'm one of those guys that jumps right back on the horse and rides, and it's the only way. I'm not saying that's good for everybody. For me, it's just my way of coping with it and dealing with it. And I would say I'm about 90% there. I still have a few issues the doctors and I are working on, but we're going to get through them, and it's going to be great.
God bless, brother.
Cool. Actually, speaking of your guitars, you were kind enough to send us one of your signed guitars for our last benefit
for the
from your personal collection. You got it here within days for our show in September. So again, that was awesome for you to do for us. And it was it was one of the big ticket items for our benefit that night.
Yeah, for the JDRF, we do one a year, a big auction, and the guys at Dean, I think you were in Australia at the time, and somehow they got a hold of you, and you had said, look, I can't get him a guitar. There was two of the Z's that you had set aside, I think, for your website for JDRF. You said send them out one, and I'm glad Ross brought that up because I want to thank you again for that, and it was a big ticket item for the auction.
No problem. And I think that's exactly though how it went down. We were down under, as they say. And I said we hold some I do for special events or charity events. And I just said I think at that point I just approved sending one up to you guys, and hopefully it did well for you.
Very well, it did very well.
Back to this Rapids Theater show, though. You're going to dig this place. John Hutchins, the guy who owns it, is a big sponsor of the show also. He's put several $1 million into this place. It's an old theater up in Niagara Falls, humongous place. And he went to the 10th power restoring it. It looks beautiful. The sound is incredible. The stage is incredible. You're really going to have a great time. And anybody that's out there, if you don't have tickets yet, where do they get tickets, Russ?
Ticketmaster, the Rapids Theater box office.
Music Exchange.
Music Exchange, Richard Store, yep. So there's a couple local outlets you can check online. But they're going fast, so hopefully Hit and Run will be opening again. They opened a few last year, Brett. Great local band, strong support.
Great.
Good guys. So.
And you know what I was going to tell you, too, about December 15th, that Thursday? I'm making this a party because everyone knows by Friday we're all pretty much checking out anyway, if you know what I mean, even though not technically.
Yeah.
But I think the Christmas till New Year's party starts then, and that 15th is a good night to kick it off, and it's going to be unbelievable. And like I said, I'm when I come there to play, it's one of those things where I'm just going to go on stage. I'm giving everybody everything I've got that night. We got a few new songs and switch the setup, and I try to do that when I come back through the area. Just fix it up a little bit, add this, move this, change that, and still give people an unbelievable show.
Well, and everyone's got to dress to impress because you might end up on a video. If you go, you might end up on the video.
Yep, that's true.
That's the word. That is the word on the street.
Dress to impress. Dress to impress. And you want to know what? This is how into Bret Michaels and all-encompassing Bret Michaels is in my life. Honest to God, I'm going to creep you out right now, bro. And I want to preface this.
Go ahead.
No, listen to this, dude. Listen, you're talking to a guy. I am your typical Western New Yorker. I'm a fat guy in Crocs, and I got Walmart stretch pants on. But I know because of Kim Marie that you wear Rock Revival jeans. How does that sound, Brett? I shouldn't know this about another man, you know?
I'm going to let it slide because I love you. It's all right. I already knew you wore Crocs, so we're both. It's an equal. It's an equal push. How's that sound?
I feel bad for Kim because I'm like, someday can she just shop for you? Because there's no way that she could shop for me. I could not look as cool as you if I on my absolute best day. There's not a chance. So,
I think I'm going to have to bring Kim up on stage and have her sing nothing but a good time.
Oh my God!
Maybe we'll get
it would make
the
your
whole
life.
band back together.
I'm there.
Speaking of that, Bret, going into 2012, what can we look forward to new music-wise? Anything in the works for Poison or a solo record? I know you dabbled in the country a little bit.
Very, very doubtful for brand new Poison stuff, but for solo stuff, always it's what I was born for, and I said this, and I'd be very sincere. What I was born to do. I love writing music. I love playing music. That doesn't mean it's always going to get played. I mean, that happened back in the first time around. You don't always know if everything you write's going to see the light of day.
Right.
But I go in there, put together some great songs. This year, the new record is called Get Your Rock On. For sure, Loretta Lynn and I are on it, but that's a done deal. We already started writing. But Jimmy Buffett and I, are you ready for craziness? We redid Margaritaville together live in Detroit. It was unreal.
Oh, that's going to be incredible.
Then I got Stevie Nicks and I got a song together called "Love's a Hard Game to Play." I wrote for her years ago, and then I'm just going to go in and duet on it. We've already finished the track. Hopefully that will come out great and make the record. And then there's just a ton of other people from My Darkest Days and Saving Abel, and cool. Joe Elliott and Phil Collin and I from Def Leppard are all doing a song together on the new Bret Michaels record. It's going to be unbelievable.
Do we have a release date for that yet?
We don't. We're looking at probably May, and then on a really funny note, you're not going to believe this, of all the people in the world, they covered the entire demographic. It's myself, Bret Michaels, and Martha Stewart are the face of PetSmart for the next 5 years.
Really?
Oh, wow.
We are the face. Who knew, right?
Yeah.
So we got Diet Snapple Troparaca. We got PetSmart, and the whole, when you see, if you're, whether you're a pet fan or not, we got a bunch of stuff in there. Just good rock and roll. I said the PetSmart needs some good rock and roll in there. And, this deal's been going on. It's going to be a huge rollout. They can go now to the landing page and look at everything, and it's all going to roll out. But next year, I'm hoping, and I'm sort of telling you this prematurely, but I'm a guy that feels I can make this happen. I hope next summer will be Def Leppard with Poison, and I hope Joan Jett. That's just I'm throwing it out there. No, it'll be Def Leppard, or it'll be Def Leppard and myself solo and Joan Jett, or this is remember, this is not me saying, I want to be very clear. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm wishing it's going to happen, and we'll see if it works.
Oh, man, that would be a great show.
Perfect for Darien Lake this summer. Yeah. That would be awesome.
Speaking of Darien Lake,
unbelievable.
I got to ask you a question. Now, you grew up in Butler.
Yes.
Someone told me that your family camped regularly at Darien Lake when you were a kid. Is that true?
That is a true story.
Oh, no kidding.
That's why I said every time we come up in that area, my family's up there, and they, we see. I see a lot of my family there, and then of course when we go down to Pittsburgh and Wheeling and Youngstown and and Erie, we came up to Lake Erie all the time, and
That's a friend of mine's parents had the campsite next to your parents. So
you know what? You're going to laugh. They probably still a pyramid can of beers there left at that site.
And that's part of your great run coming up next week, which Rapids is involved. You'll be in Pittsburgh, West Virginia all next weekend. You got two sold out shows in was it Maryland? Is it?
Yeah, we got two sold out in Annapolis. We added one. It sold out quickly. We added a second one, and then we've got Pittsburgh, and I can't wait. And then we see you guys on the 15th. It's going to be awesome.
That's a great Northeast run. So, like I said, anybody, this will be running virally. Get out there, get your tickets. Great Christmas present for your rock and roll loved one in your family, man.
So remember, folks, December 15th, dress to impress, because the living legend Bret Michaels is coming to town, and he's going to videotape, much like Santa Claus is coming to town, but it's Bret.
Yes.
And he's going to be videotaping people, so wear your Sunday go-to-meeting clothes. I'll have on my good stretch pants and my good Crocs. I just want you to know that, Bret. If you're thinking to yourself, we need a fat guy for the video, I'm there. I'll be there, brother. I got your back.
I've already got you covered. Don't worry. We're gonna make you part of the actual video. We're gonna do it. I already got ideas. I've got you set up. It's going to be great.
Well, Kim Marie looks much better in her Affliction and Rock Revival stuff than I do in my Walmart garb. I'll admit that.
I'm just, you know what? She's already in. We've already got that done. That's a whole other. But wait, me and her. That's a whole other video we're shooting.
Oh geez. Oh geez.
Well, I'm here all week. Cheers.
All right, Bret. I know you're busy, and I thank you so much for taking the time. And really, honestly, you are an American hero, and I think the world of you. And I can't wait to see you next week, Thursday, bro.
Hey, thank you both very much, and thank you all for having me on. Take care. We'll see you Thursday.
All right, Bret. Thank
Travel
you.
safe, man.